Beer, 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 beer. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to me, Maple Ruski, for beer review number 17. And today, something a bit different. Today, I have from across the nation collaboration celebrating the 150th year of Canada, anniversary, country, birthday of Canada. This is coming from Red Racer and another, Central City Brewers. They have come together and have brought 12 beers from 12 different breweries from across Canada, from the East Coast to the West Coast, and one brewery from each province has created a beer and put into two single six-packs, one from the West, one from the East, and they're just showcasing beers from all across Canada to celebrate our 150th anniversary. So today, starting off, is one from Saskatchewan, and this brewery in question is Bridge Brewery. So the 330ml bottle shows a little logo that they have saying where it's from, and the little brewery, and then the name, which is Wide Open Spaces, coming in at 5.5% ABV and 35 IBUs. It is a Kellerbier, Kellerbier. So let's pop the top and let's pour a glass. Nice pop. Alright, let's pour it into our Rouge River tulip style glass. I don't think I've had a Keller style beer before, so this is gonna be something interesting. Alright, fairly decent sized head, a little hazy but very pale yellowy. It looks more darker on camera just because of the lighting, but it's quite yellow. Let's give her a smell and let's give her a sip. Yeasty, like bready, and a little bit of maltiness in there. Alright, let's have a sip. Real yeasty, like a nice crisp yeast. Yeasty taste of bread. Yeast is what I get, is the breadiness taste of it, and decent sized malts in there too. So bottle says, the German people were drawn to Saskatchewan in the 1700s for the vast farmland. With their arrival came beer styles such as the Kellerbier, a young lager with a distinctive and delicious flavor. Very cool, very cool. Did not know that at all. But yeah, it tastes pretty damn good. Cheers, everybody, and we'll continue on drinking. Yeah, it's crisp, refreshing, a good medium-sized body, fullness of the flavors. It's quite delicious. Trying to pinpoint certain flavors in there, nothing really stands out to me but the yeastiness. There's a nice little bit of hoppiness in there too, which also makes it quite enjoyable. Really crisp, clean, no offensive flavors at all. So I brought up the Central City Brewers website to see if I can find out more about these beers, and they don't have anything like a description on them. It just says from Saskatchewan that this one, it is from Bridge Brewery with co-owners Clayton and Carrie Stenson. And it goes on to say stuff about what the whole collaboration is. And this one, what the website says is, Surrey, BC, Canadians have 12 more beer-tastic reasons to celebrate Canada's 150th anniversary of Confederation. Central City Brewers Plus Distilleries is pleased to announce a Canada-wide beer collaboration with Canadian breweries from 12 provinces and territories. The Red Racer Across the Nation collaboration 12-pack commemorates the country's milestone's birthday. So it seems like they do offer a 12-pack of each beer, but they also have 2 dedicated 6-packs for the East and the West Coast. And this was actually gifted to me by my girlfriend's grandmother, so that was really nice. It's a really nice surprise, and she's pretty awesome. So yeah, so as far as this goes, wide open spaces. It's a little bit fruity as well. It's not super chilled that I'm having, so flavors do change depending on what temperature you drink it at. I'm getting a bit of fruitiness, a little bit more citrusy just because of the hops. But man, it is quite delicious. Here in Ontario, we don't get many beers outside of Ontario Craft Brewery. I know we get Big Rock from Alberta and some other ones, maybe a few from BC, but mainly it's Ontario Craft Beer. And you know what? I really like the style that they're doing with this. It's a good opening beer experience to some beers, like a very small, miniature, minute scale of beers that are around Canada. I guess one reason why I'm bringing the Saskatchewan first is my mom is actually from Saskatchewan, a little town called Ormiston. So this is a good beer to start off with, in my opinion, at least. Yeah, it's crisp, clean, fairly easy drinking. Bit more on the like I said, moderate side of the body, or the flavorness of it. So, it's leaving a nice lacing around the glass too, which is kind of cool. But yeah, also when it warms up a bit, you get more of the malts, like a toasted malt characteristic, in my opinion. Not so like caramel malts or anything like that, because it is a very light beer, like lightly toasted malts. It smells very yeasty. Like I said, nothing really stands out on the nose other than yeastiness and like crisp yeastiness, or white breadiness, as I always call it. It's the best way to describe it for me. But yeah, I like the name Wide Open Spaces, because literally that's what 99% of Saskatchewan is. From the bit that I've seen years and years ago when I took a trip, was just flat. You kind of look outside your window, or your window, or your car window and shit, look for miles upon miles. You see a farm, you think maybe 5 miles, it's probably 50 miles. That's how flat it is. But a really nice province. From what I remember, a lot of grasshoppers. When my dad was driving down like a nice flat dirt road, and all you hear is grasshoppers just hitting the grill, getting chopped up. It's a little tidbit on Saskatchewan. But with that, let's have a final cheers and a final review. Cheers. Overall, that's a solid beer. Well, that's actually quite tasty. No, it's nice. It's refreshing, a bit more heavier with the moderate bodiness, in my opinion, which, it's great. Coming in at 5.5%, it's what you'd expect. And that's not a bad thing. That's a great thing, actually. And 35 IBUs, a little bit, not really on the light side, but a nice light to medium side of the bitterness, which I was like a little bit of a bitter beer. It just adds that little bit extra flavor, in my opinion. But with that, I gotta give it a solid 8.5 out of 10. For what it is, it's you got a lot of flavor, the yeastiness, a little bit of citrusy and fruity, hoppy notes to it, and then the nice slight toasted malts. It's a good mix of everything you'd love in a beer. One thing I guess I could not fault it with, but wish for another batch of it, which probably won't happen, but who knows, maybe at the 200 anniversary, who knows, gotta wait another 50 years, right? By that time I'll be in my 70s. But no, if maybe a little bit extra flavor or something, because there's a lot. You got both, like all three styles. You got like malts, and you got your yeast, and then you got your hops, and they all bring it together really nicely. But maybe if one stood out more, but that's just personal opinion. Overall, it is a great beer, solid 8.5 out of 10. So yeah, that'll do it for me, Maple Brewski, and like I always say, crack a beer and enjoy. Cheers.